It's our 3-month anniversary.
Yay. Quarter of the year.
Yep, we've been on the road for a quarter of the year.
Time sure does go by quickly.
Oh my gosh, it's kind of insane, honestly. We wanted to take a minute to kind of run down the places we've been, the campgrounds we've stayed at, the miles driven, and the dollars spent. So we're gonna go through this as quickly as possible to not bore you, but one by one. Starting at home, we went from Ocala to Asheville, which stayed at Campfire Lodgings. It was $650 for 17 nights, which averaged $38 a night.
We then went from Asheville to Savannah. We stayed at Skidaway Island State Park. Total cost was $343 for 7 nights, which came out to $49 a night.
From Savannah, we went to Jasper, Florida, and stayed in a county park one night, $20 a night.
Jasper, we went to Live Oak. We stayed at the Long Branch Rest and Ride, $45 for 2 nights, $22.50 a night.
From Live Oak, we went to Santa Rosa Beach. We stayed at Top Sail Hill Preserve State Park. It was $380 for 8 nights, which averaged $47.50 a night. And that was all of December. So from December 2nd to December 31st, we traveled through 3 states, stayed in 5 campgrounds, drove about 1,250 miles, spent $1,153 on campgrounds, and averaged $38.50 a night.
Starting in January, we stayed at Top Sail Hill State Park, $285 for the 6 nights. That's an average of $47.50 a night.
From Santa Rosa Beach, we moved to Mobile, Alabama. We stayed at Mayer State Park. It was $211. We stayed there for 7 nights, so it averaged $30 a night.
From Mobile, we went to New Orleans. We stayed at Bayou Signet State Park. It was $262 for 9 nights, which averaged $29 a night.
From New Orleans, we moved to Lafayette, Louisiana, and stayed at Bayou Tech Brewing. We were there for 1 night, and it was free because it was a harvest host.
From Lafayette, we went to Lumberton, Texas. We stayed 1 night, and it was $21 a night.
From Lumberton, we moved to Plantersville, stayed at another harvest host, Barnhart Winery, for 1 night, which was a free stay.
From Plantersville to Shiner, Texas, we stayed at Green Dixon Park, $40 for 2 nights. That's an average of $20 a night.
From Shiner, we moved over to Magnolia Beach. We stayed for 6 nights, and it was free.
Free!
That was the month of January.
Month 2. We were in 4 states, 5 campgrounds, 2 harvest hosts, 1 boondocking spot, 1,025 miles, $819 in campgrounds, an average of $26.50 a night.
All right, so moving on to our 3rd month. We started off the month in Magnolia Beach. We were there for a couple of days, which of course was free.
From Magnolia Beach, we went to San Antonio. We stayed at another harvest host, the Texas Air Museum, for 1 night, and it was also free.
From San Antonio, we moved to Kerrville. We stayed at the Kerrville Shriner Park. It was $546, but we were there for 3 weeks. It averaged $26 a night.
From Kerrville, we moved on to Fort Stockton. We stayed at the Fort Stockton RV Park. It was $63. We stayed there 2 nights, an average of $31.50 a night.
From Fort Stockton, we moved to Marathon, which is where we are now. We are staying at the Marathon Motel and RV Park. It was $70 for 3 nights, so it averaged $23.30 a night. All right, so for our third month was February 1st through the 28th. We were in 1 state, the big state of Texas. We stayed in 3 campgrounds, 1 harvest host, and we started the month at the boondocking spot at Magnolia Beach. We drove about 530 miles, spent $656 on campgrounds, so that averaged about $23.50 a night. So that's a pretty good trend because our average nightly cost has gone down. every month.
Every month. We
Yeah.
started out strong. We splurged on our first spot because it was our first spot, and then the Airstream rally, that was expensive. So
Also, I think the East Coast in general might be more expensive, with the
I believe
exception
so,
of
yes.
California, and there's less free.
less boondocking.
Less
on the East
boondocking.
Coast.
Exactly. So
Hopefully the trend will continue, and from here on out, it'll just get cheaper and cheaper.
that's our goal, is to find more boondocking spots, more public land, and continue to be able to take advantage of that and keep our costs low. So totals for the 3 months we've been on the road. We've traveled to 6 states, stayed in 13 campgrounds, stayed in 3 harvest hosts and 1 boondocking spot, traveled 2,805 miles, spent $2,628 on campgrounds, about $750 on fuel, and about $150 on propane, for a total of $3,528, which over the 3 months averages $1,176 a month. Now this cost is just for the main 3, which are campgrounds, fuel, and propane. Those are the inevitable costs in living this lifestyle. But of course there is additional costs, such as health insurance, food, what we spend on our animals. We chose not to include that in this. It's very individualized. So we've excluded that from these costs, but certainly something to consider if you're considering this lifestyle. Pros and cons.
Pros, everything has been a pro.
Absolutely.
The cons are, I'm just being nitpicky because I really don't have any.
Right.
It's one thing is it's very loud. Everything in the trailer is very loud. You turn the AC on, it's loud. You turn the fans on, it's loud. But it's all doable.
Another con, of course, is missing our friends and family. But our hope is that we
Can share this with them.
Absolutely. We hope that our family comes and joins us on some of these adventures, and I know that they're planning to. So like TJ said, the pros are pretty obvious. I mean, you get to explore this amazing country. We've just touched the tip of the iceberg. I am so incredibly stoked for the rest of this year. Got some really incredible things planned and places to go. So thank you for joining us. We appreciate you following along on the adventure.
Right.
If you're enjoying our videos, please hit the like button.
Please give us a thumbs up. If you'd like to follow along, make sure you subscribe and don't miss out.
Bye.